Welcome to Sugar Land, Texas. We're live at Constellation Field, home of your Atlantic League champion Sugar Land Skeeters. Sugar Land comes in with an even record of 24-24. They are 3 games back of the Barnstormers, third in the Freedom Division. They are a half a game back of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, who are 2.5 games back of the Barnstormers. The Blue Crabs come in with a record of 24-23. Skeeters will send out their right-hander, Sean Gleason, 1-3 with a .695 ERA. He will face off against fellow righty and former big leaguer Darrell Thompson, who was 3-3 with a .330 ERA. Today is game number 49 of the season, home game number 26. You can hear all 140 games home and road right here on 1560 AM. Hi, I'm Ira Liebman, joined again by Andy Humphrey. And Andy, the big news just before the game, Skeeters lost a big component, Andy Wilkins. A congratulations to him. He gets back to affiliated. The former big leaguer will be going to the Twins organization and heading to AA Chattanooga.
Yeah, he's going to go to a winning team as well. That team is about half game out of first place in their division in the Southern League. So he's getting to a team that is right in the championship hunt, and that team is gaining a really big power bat. He had 13 home runs, which was tied for the league lead here in the Atlantic League. And now the Skeeters have to find that power once again. Someone needs to step up to fill up that void that Andy Wilkins has left now with all those home runs that he had.
And they also lost a big 3-4-1-2 punch Barfield a few weeks ago, and now Wilkins, who has been red hot, maybe the hottest hitter in the league. So Skeeters will have to go out. Gary Guidy and his staff will have to find a replacement, and you're right, for right now, everyone's going to have to step up a little. Well, the national anthem is ready to get underway, so we will duck out when we come back. The starting lineups on the first pitch. It is time to play ball when we return right here to Constellation Field in just a moment. Welcome back to Constellation Field. Time to take a look at the starting lineup of the visiting Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Starting lineup brought to you by MemberSource Credit Union. Whether it's a Skeeters checking account, an auto loan, or a home loan, be sure to check out MemberSource's complete lineup at membersourcecu.org. Leading off for the Blue Crabs is a switch-hitting Jose Lozada. He'll bat in the top spot, and he'll play second. Batting second at short, Edwin Garcia. The 3-hole hitter in DH is Zach Wilson. At first, Michael Schneider will be the cleanup hitter. Batting fifth, Corey Vaughn in center. Devon Rodriguez in left, bats sixth. Batting seventh is the right fielder, Zach Cohn. Patrick Palmero, the former Skeeter, bats eighth. He'll be at third, and batting ninth, catcher Luis Allen.
On the field for the Skeeters, the outfield looks like this from left to right. Hector Oliveira, Derek Miller, Anthony Jansanti. Left side of the infield, Brian Pounds at third, Kevin Aarons at shortstop. Right side of the infield, Albert Cordero taking the first base duties, and Josh Prince at second base. Wilfredo Rodriguez is behind the plate for the right-hander on the mound, Sean Gleason.
Gleason comes in with a 1-3 record, a 6.95 ERA. This is his 13th appearance, just his second start. In 22 innings, he has walked 10, struck out 9. The 31-year-old, 5'11", 220 pounds, originally from La Junta, Colorado, selected in the 25th round by the Red Sox in 2006 out of Lamar Community College. That's Lamar, Colorado. And also selected in the 20th round by the Orioles in 2007, a year later out of St. Mary's College of California. In steps the switch hitting Jose Lozada, who came in for the injured Edwin Garcia last night. The switch hitter will bat here from the left side. 214 with a home run and 8 RBIs for Lozada. First pitch of the ball game. This one is down low, 1-0, and we are underway. Game 2 of a 6-game series and a 6-game homestand, all against these Blue Crabs. Skeeters won by a final score of 7-4 last night. The 1-0 by Gleason. This one is a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike the count here to Lozada. Gleason last year split time between the Skeeters, the Bees, and Mexico, going 5-12 with a 4.76 ERA. This one swung on and hit down into the left corner, but Oliveira is there, and he grabs it just before he crosses over into foul territory. And there's out number 1, a fly out to left. Edwin Garcia will step in. Garcia 250, no home runs and 9 RBIs. The right-hand hitting shortstop will step in here. Well, Gleason back for his second stint with the Skeeters this year. He reached as high as AAA Norfolk. That was in 2010 and 2011. The best season was in the Cal League with the Modesto Nuts, was 3-1 with 24 saves and a 2.02 ERA. This one a strike on the inside corner, no balls and 1 strike to count. A little bit of an earlier start, 6:05, so the Shadows not even at home plate yet, creeping there quickly. This one is a strike on the outside corner, no balls and 2 strikes to count here to Garcia. Garcia wears the socks high, pretty straight up stance from the right side of the box, feet parallel to the pitcher. This one, a fastball misses outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here to Garcia. Garcia has hit safely in 6 of his last 7. Been in the Rangers organization. This one is high, 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Been as high as AAA Round Rock with the Express, with the Rangers in 2015 and 2016. The 2-2 by the quick working Gleason. This one is low and away, so Gleason, who is ahead 0-2, now runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wind blowing very hard in from left center field today. It will be very difficult for a left-handed hitter to get one out. This one is fouled off to the right side. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Garcia. So I mentioned Gleason making just his second start of the season for Sugarland, and Skeeters very thin in their rotation, and really, Andy, very thin in general. Andy Wilkins, if you're just joining us, was signed by the Twins today. That leaves them in no extra position players. So if somebody is hurt, we're going to see a pitcher playing a position, as this one is swung on and missed, strike 3. 2 down, first K of the day, 2 away, and with 2 outs and none on, in steps Zach Wilson.
Yeah, you knew at some point that was going to happen with, only 1 bench player available for Gary Gaetti the last few days, with guys being signed, and of course with the pitching staff having to bring in some extra arms because guys have been hurt there as well.
Their starting staff is also a bit thin. One of the reasons both Gleason and Blevins, who are basically long men to start this season, are now both in the rotation. The Skeeters on the road trip lost Jake Hale to an injury. He's on the DL, and also on the same road trip, Zach Zanicola, who had been out 5 weeks, made his first start, only went 2/3 an inning. He went back to the DL, so 2/5 of the rotation on the shelf. This one inside. On top of the Wilkins signing, Joe Benson went on the disabled list, and Lance Sawatsky's been on the disabled list. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here to Wilson. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. This one is swollen and pelted into left center field. That will be a base hit, possibly more. Cordero gets to it quickly. The throw to second going to be close, but a little offline. And sneaking in there is Wilson with a double. And there's 1 on with 2 out.
It's a good effort by Oliveira to get that in. If it was on line, it would have been probably an out on the bases there. And Wilson, I thought, was pretty aggressive trying to get that into a double. But Oliveira, a really nice effort. That's a tough play, trying to spin around while running toward that center field wall to try and gun somebody down. It's definitely difficult, but it was just a seed into left center field, so a tough play.
Odd stat line for Wilson. That is his 5th double of the year. He has 9 home runs and 5 doubles. This one is high and tight. 1 ball and no strikes. Wilson and Snyder, one of the better 1-2 punches in the league. Wilson hit his 9th home run last night. Snyder has 8 home runs, 270, 8 home runs, 28 RBIs. And both of them amongst the league leaders in RBIs. The 1-0. Swung and hit to the left side, right at Pounds. A toss across in time, and that'll do it. 5-3 on the putout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Southern Maryland does not score here in the top of the first. Skeeters coming to bat for the first time when we return.
You know,
Well, time to take a look at the starting lineup for your Sugarland Skeeters, brought to you by MemberSource Credit Union. Whether it's a Skeeters checking account, an auto loan, or a home loan, be sure to check out MemberSource's complete lineup at membersourcecu.org. Leading off, Josh Prince. He'll be at second base, batting second, and at third is Brian Pounds. In the 3-hole right field, Anthony Jansanti. The cleanup hitter and shortstop is Kevin Aarons. The DH, Travis Scott, bats fifth. Batting sixth, Hector Oliveira in left. Albert Cordero, the switch hitting first baseman, bats seventh. Derek Miller batting eighth. He'll be in center, and Wilfredo Rodriguez, the catcher, bats ninth. Prince comes in at 263, 3 home runs and 21 RBIs. First pitch, a strike to Prince. They're going to set up away here, and the 0-1 by Thompson is swollen and fouled off to the right side, 0-2. Prince really getting on a little bit of a roll. Number 7 has now hit in 7 straight games, hitting .320 with 4 RBIs and 5 doubles. Prince in his prior 6 games batted just .133. The 0-2 here from the right-hander Thompson. This one swung on, popped up, shallow right field. The second baseman Lozada on the grass, now coming in as the wind blows it back. Will bring it down behind first for out number 1.
Defensively, here's how the Blue Crabs line up from left to right in the outfield. Rodriguez, Vaughn, and Cone. Left side of the infield, Patrick Palmero at third, Edwin Garcia at shortstop. Right side of the infield, Michael Snyder at first, and Jose Lozada catching that pop fly at second base. Luis Allen makes his first appearance against the Skeeters in a Blue Crabs uniform behind the plate for the starter on the mound, Darrell Thompson.
Well, first pitch to the right-hander hitting third baseman Brian Pounds. A strike here from Thompson. No balls and 1 strike to count. Darrell, part of these Blue Crabs last year as well. The 0-1. This one is a little bit low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, none on. Bottom of the first, no score. Thompson spent a little bit of time in the big leagues with the Reds in 2008 and then again in 2011. Combined went 0 for 3 and an 8.31 ERA. This one hit into right field. That wind going to blow it right down in a hurry. And the right fielder Cone brings it down for the second out. So 2 outs, none on. Anthony Jansanti will step in. Jansanti still on that hitting streak. Jansanti will come into today trying to make it 24 straight games. Excuse me, 25 straight games. 24 in a row. Spans 39 days. And he is 37 for 99 on that stretch. A 374 mark with 11 home runs. He has also hit in 30 of his last 31 ball games. Let's see if he can make it 25 in a row in his first at bat. First pitch, a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count to number 21. Jansanti comes in at 333 with 3 home runs and 16 RBIs. The 0-1 here by the former big leaguer Thompson. This one just misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Jansanti comes in 4th in the league with that 333 average. The 1-1. Swung and a bullet down the third base line. Just foul though. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. You're on a hitting streak. You always want to try to get out of the way in that first at bat. You don't want that pressure mounting with an at bat or 2 left in the game. Especially when you don't know when that last at bat is going to be. Sometimes the game ends and you're the guy on deck. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on number 2-1, Anthony Jansanti. The 1-2 swung and slashed to the right side and down the right field line as Jansanti spraying the ball both down the left and right field side. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, none on. Bottom of the first, no score here. Thompson gets a sign from Luis Allen. The 1-2. Swan and hit into right center field. That will fall in for a base hit. 25 straight games. And Anthony Jansanti has hit in a 25-game hitting streak for the Skeeters right fielder.
You know, the most impressive part is that he's just done it in almost every single spot in the lineup that you can imagine. Gary Gaetti likes to move him around a lot, and sometimes that can change up the mindset of a hitter a bit, what part of the lineup you may be hitting in, who's batting in front of you and behind you. Jansanti consistently, no matter where he is in the lineup, has delivered offensively.
So Jansanti down at first. Remember, he does have speed. Kevin Aarons will step in. Aarons 299, 5 home runs, and 29 RBIs. This one popped up right side. The second baseman, Luis Lozada, into right field, and he'll bring it down for out number 3. Jansanti extends his hitting streak, but the only hit of the inning. Skeeters no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base through 1. There's no score between the Skeeters and the Blue Crabs. So we move to the top of the second inning. Sean Gleason faces one over the minimum in the first, so he will face 5, 6, and 7 here in the top of the second. Corey Vaughn, Devon Rodriguez, and Zach Cohn. Corey Vaughn comes in at 274, 4 home runs and 17 RBIs. Gleason, number 10, will begin his second inning of work here in his second start of the season. Shadows now right at home plate. Gleason's pitches will be going from sunlight to darkness. They set up outside. First pitch, big swing and a miss as Gleason blows a first pitch fastball past Vaughn. Oh, no balls and 1 strike to count here on Corey. The 0-1, swollen and chopped towards third. That one foul, however, and Gleason ahead quickly. No balls and 2 strikes here on Vaughn. Vaughn 8 for his last 21, a .381 mark, a home run and 3 RBIs over his last 6 games. This is a guy who was drafted twice, once by the Phillies, once by the Mets. Swollen and missed, foul tipped into the mitt of Rodriguez. Second K of the day, and there's 1 away, so with 1 out and none on, I'll bring in Devon Rodriguez, the left-handed hitting left fielder, .364, 3 home runs and 19 RBIs. By the way, last night the Spasmatics did play Whip It.
Good. They heard that Devon Rodriguez was here. Figured they had to.
First pitch is over the head of Gleason and up the middle for a base hit. Man, Gleason got some ups there, went as high as he could off that 6-inch mound and just missed it. Went at the center field for the second hit of the game for the Blue Crabs. So 1 on and 1 out here for Zach Cohn. .289, 2 home runs and 17 RBIs. Speaking of Cohn, I remember when David Cohn was in his prime with the Mets, he had a whole section, kind of like how Aaron Judge has now, where they say all rise. They had a whole bunch of cone heads from Saturday Night Live wearing those big skin heads that pointed up. This one is swung and missed. No balls and 1 strike to count.
Do they give gavels to the people in the
no, but I'm surprised that as soon as he walks in, somebody doesn't yell, all rise, because that's what the signs say. That would be court, or somebody yells court in session and everybody yells all rise. Foul ball down the right side. No balls and 2 strikes here on Cohn. Gleason ready to deliver the 0-2 pitch coming here to David Cohn. Not David Cohn, Zach Cohn. See, I got caught on my own web. The 0-2 here by Gleason. They set up inside. And this one high and tight almost hits Cohn. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here. Cohn has hit safely in 9 of his last 10 and 14 of his last 16 games. Another former Rangers prospect got as high as AA Frisco in 2015 and 16. The 1-2 just misses inside. Gleason thought he had it. So did I. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Umpires today, by the way, it'll be Reggie Liggins behind the dish, Greg Oros at first, and Derek Moshe is at third. Gleason pitching from the stretch, the 2-2. This one tight as well. That'll run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gleason so far pretty good. Strike to ball ratio, 15 for strikes, 9 for balls, 24 total pitches.
So far, though, when he's gotten ahead, he has definitely let batters right back into the count, getting ahead 0-2 a couple of times and then losing control on the next 3 pitches.
No question. See if Gleason can finish off Cohn here. They set up away. The payoff pitch. There goes the runner. This one hammered into center field. Miller with his back towards the infield. Still going back in left center. Hauls it in. What a play by Miller. In deep right center field. And now hustling back to first is Devo. Much as see an outfielder's back completely turned, you think the worst. But Miller ran to the spot like all good center fielders do and brought it down going towards the left center field wall. Excuse me, the right center field wall.
Well, he definitely took an interesting path to get there, and it was swirling around in the wind as well. Probably pushed it away from that right center field wall a bit, and so Miller was able to catch up to it just in time.
So 2 outs, 1 on. In steps Patrick Palmero. First pitch is fouled to our right. That one off the top of the screen comes back onto the field. No balls and 1 strike the count. Patrick comes in at 228, but has 7 home runs and 30 RBIs. So just out of the top 5 in ribbies. And did he really hit his old team hard when we went to Southern Maryland? The 0-1. This one is low.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Like a pretty good pitch.
Yeah.
Didn't just catch the outside corner. It caught the entire portion of the outside part of the plate. The 1-1. This one high and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Gleason goes to the back of the mound here, trying to regroup. 2-1, a good hitter's count, but there is 2 outs. I don't know if Rodriguez would think about taking off. This one is hit into right field. Jansanti has a beat on it, and he'll haul it in for the final out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base, and identical as the first inning for Gleason. Middle of the second, no score between the Skeeters and the Blue Crabs. Come celebrate the 2016 Atlantic League Championship on Sunday, June 25th at 6 p.m. The first 2,000 fans through the gates get free championship flags. To get your tickets, call 240-HITS or log on to SugarlandSkeeters.com. No scores. We move to the bottom of the second. Travis Scott will lead it off for Sugarland. It'll be 5, 6, and 7. Travis Scott, Hector Oliveira, and Albert Cordero. Scott, 234, 4 home runs, 20 RBIs for the Skeeters left-handed hitting DH. Let's see if Scott can get the Skeeters started here. Well, Travis still trying to break out of a slump. Just 5 for his last 41, a 122 mark over his last 11 games. This one swung on, popped up. That one just over our heads. No balls and 1 strike to count here. Scott last year with the Skeeters set a career high, which is the same number on his back, 16 home runs. Also hit 264 with 67 RBIs in 113 games. They set up inside on the 0-1, and this one swung, and again, Scott over our heads. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Scott, a former 20th round draft pick in 2005 out of Lincoln Land Community College, the Seattle Mariners. Career numbers for Travis, 265, 45 home runs, and 224 RBIs. This one is a little bit low. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Thompson's 1-2 here to Travis Scott. This one is a little bit low and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Travis. Thompson, been playing pro ball since age 17. And he is the last of the Mohicans, perhaps. I'll get to that in a minute as this one's skied left side. Palmero battling the sun near the stands, brings it down in front of his own dugout for out number 1. So a foul out to his former teammate, 1 out, none on for Hector Oliveira. What I mean by Thompson is Thompson, he has to be the last professional baseball player that was selected by the Montreal Expos. He was drafted by the Expos in the 8th round in 2003.
Yeah, not many of those guys left for sure.
Skeeters had 2 a few years ago in Roy Corcoran and Gary Majeski. This one is a pop behind second. It is Lozada on the outfield grass. We'll bring it down for out number 2. 2 outs, none on. Albert Cordero will step in here, the switch-hitting first baseman. He was a last-second addition to the lineup after Andy Wilkins was signed today by the Minnesota Twins, if you're just joining us. So congratulations to Andy. He'll be headed to Double-A with Chattanooga. So he was in the big leagues last year with the Brewers, 2 years ago in 2014 with the White Sox. Perhaps we'll get back for a 3rd time. He was putting up some numbers lately, to say the least. This one is a strike on the inside corner, 0-1 the count. Wilkins came into today's action, or would have come into today's action, I think would be more accurate. He was 6th in the league with a .318 average. He was tied for the league lead in home runs with 13. This one hit into the right center field gap, a lunging attempt by Vaughn. He doesn't come up with it. Cordero will stop at first, and it's a 2-out single here for Cordero. Good effort by Vaughn. Almost came up with that one.
He almost did. I think he stumbled at the no, he didn't stumble at the last minute, but he maybe saw it a little bit late and then had to speed up right at the last few moments that ball was dropping. And he did get his glove to it and almost made that catch. I'm actually interested in the scoring here. Did they give it a hit? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
yes, they
that's
did.
A hit.
Yeah. Because it was right in and out of his glove. Again, a tough play, but I think the single's the right call there.
First pitch here to Derek Miller. Swollen in, fouled into the screen. Good cut there by Derek. No balls and 1 strike to count. Miller batting 5 for his last 14, a .357 mark over his last 4 ball games. Miller was at Double-A himself last year in the Red Sox system with Portland. Began the year in Greenville in the Sally League. This one popped up right side. The first baseman Snyder, battling the wind, brings it down for the final out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. We are through 2, and we are still scoreless.
All right. You want to check your mic real quick?
Test, test, test.
Yep,
Test,
should
test.
be good. All right.
Welcome back to Constellation Field. We move to the top half of the 3rd inning in a scoreless contest. Gleason back to work. He will face 9-1-2 Luis Allen, Jose Lozada, and Edwin Garcia. And our guest in the booth here is Brian Smith. He is the Public Relations and Marketing Coordinator for Spring Free Trampolines, which I see here at the ballpark. So not only are you a sponsor, some cool additions to the ballpark.
Absolutely, gentlemen. Thanks for having us on this inning. We're excited to be here, and a new addition here at Constellation Field, our Spring Free Safe Trampolines.
That's good, because I am very accident prone. Very accident prone. Well, tell us a little about what was your motivation for the idea behind Spring Free Trampoline. How does it kind of differ from other trampoline type places?
We started 20 years ago in Australia, and the inventor of Spring Free had a young daughter and said, I would really like to get her a trampoline, and his wife said, absolutely not. They're too dangerous, won't allow it. And he goes,
overprotective mother. You don't find a lot of those.
Nah, never.
The 1-1 swung on and popped up right side. Skeeters first baseman Albert Cordero, kind of a nonchalant catch to his left, and there's out number 1.
But he said, well, I guess I better invent a better one then. So we did. And 20 years later, we've expanded to 18 countries around the world and are bringing our smart, safe experience to countless backyards.
And what makes them safer than most trampolines?
We have 3 different things that help us stand apart and be safe. We're safe and smart because of our quality. These products, unlike traditional trampolines, we expect this to be in your backyard for 8 to 10 years. So it's very exciting, an investment you'll have.
First pitch here is hit to the left side, backhanded by Pounds. He drops it, picks it up. The throw to first is in time. What a play by the Skeeters third baseman. The University of Houston product. Makes a great play to start off the first here. 2 down, none on for Edwin Garcia. Now, I've heard of smartphones, smart cars, but you're the smart trampoline. Explain that one.
Yes, sir. Well, the first thing you notice about our trampolines is the fact that we don't use any metal springs at all. We have fiberglass rods that are tucked under the trampoline, so there's nothing to land on, nothing to get pinched by. You have nothing that's going to send you to the ER like you may get on some other trampolines.
So your trampoline has gone green is what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely. And we also have a gaming system integrated into the trampoline.
So is it not enough excitement for kids nowadays? Is the trampoline's not good enough? They have to have a gaming system on top of this? Has it come to this? It used to be okay. You wouldn't even have a safe trampoline. There were no guards around it. We'd get on it. We'd kill ourselves, and we'd move on.
Exactly. You get bandaged up and you try it again the next day. It was a lot of fun. But we want to appeal to everybody. And if it's something that's going to be in your backyard for 10 years, then we want kids to be engaged with it for every single day. And the gaming system allows them to do that.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the third, no score. Edwin Garcia struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. The 2-2 swung and skied into right field. Moving towards the line is Jan Santi. The wind blowing it towards the grandstand. Did he come up with that? No. Disappeared from our view, and there's to be a long strike as that wind is wreaking havoc here today on both the infield and the outfield. We're joined here in the booth by Brian Smith, the PR and marketing coordinator for Spring Free Trampoline. And what is the GOBA Sports Group?
Well, that is a new conglomerate that we've launched, and Spring Free Trampoline is part of that. GOBA stands for Go Outside and Be Active. And
that's something I like.
Yes, that's
gotta get kids away from screens, phones, everything.
Exactly. Bring them out here to the ballpark's a great start.
Ground ball is short. A throw over by the Skeeters' Kevin Aarons, and that will do it. Want to stick around for another half an inning?
If you guys will have me, it'll be great.
Sure will. Skeeters and Blue Crabs are scoreless. Middle of the third. Back here in a moment. We move to the bottom of the third. Devo's not even batting this inning. Well done, though, Nathan Werner back in the studio. It'll be Wilfredo Rodriguez, Josh Prince, Brian Pounds. 9-1-2 here for the Skeeters. We're scoreless as we move into the bottom of the third. And we're still joined here by Brian Smith of Spring Free Trampoline. And we were talking about the GOBA group before they rudely interrupted you with the final out.
I know, this game's getting in the way of my PR pitch here. But the GOBA Sports Group is a new company recently launched. Spring Free is a part of that, and it stands for Go Outside and Be Active. So all of the brands, all of the companies that are part of it here in North America, it's an entire lifestyle that they're encouraging, trying to get families.
It's sad that you have to encourage that lifestyle these days. I remember watching the movie Grown Up with Adam Sandler, and he says, all right, no more video games. We're going to go outside, and the kids go, what do we do out here?
Unfortunately, that's where we're at, but we really want to encourage not only everyone to go outside, but really to do it as a family. It's something that the entire family, all of our products can be used together, and that's really what we're about.
1 ball and 2 strikes here on Rodriguez, who came in .314 with a home run and 10 RBIs, and really getting back to his old self lately. The 1-2 by Thompson, and he stops right in the middle of his windup. Rodriguez 12 for 34, a .353 mark over his last 11 games, so he's starting to tear it up and always goes the other way. And they're setting up outside. Let's see if he does. He tries to go the other way, hammers it foul down the right side. Now, Brian, what are the advantages over a traditional trampoline that Spring Free has?
The first is in our design. So we talked about not having any of the metal springs. The only metal in the whole trampoline is in the frame, which is tucked low and away. So there's nothing hard for the kids to run into, no hard surface. We have a safety net that is made out of the same material that's used in commercial grade deep sea fishing.
And that's not an expression like, hey, we have a safety net just in case. You actually do have a safety net.
Yes, it's actually there. We can go down in the Gulf, catch a 1,000-pound great white with it.
This one hit down the right field line. That one's going to hook foul.
Or
a great white with your fishing net.
Yep. Or put the kids in there, and you know they're not going to come flying out of it. So everyone's going to end the day with the same number of front teeth as they start.
Now, I guess every parent wants to make sure their investment lasts a while. There's a little bit more of a longevity factor the way this thing is produced.
Absolutely. We fully expect you to have this trampoline in your backyard for 8 to 10 years. So get it now when the kids are growing up.
This one is hit up the middle and under the glove of shortstop Edwin Garcia behind second. That'll be a base hit for the Skeeters. The Skeeters have had 1 hit in each of the first 3 innings so far, but nobody aboard. However, the other 2 hits came with 2 outs, so a leadoff single here for Rodriguez. We go back to the top of the order with Josh Prince, who's 0 for 1. He popped out to second his first time up, came in at .263 with 3 home runs and 21 RBIs. And you guys are also doing a contest for a giveaway at the end of the year, and you guys are also here today, correct?
Correct. This was the first of 5 games that will be out here on the concourse at Constellation Field, cheering on the Skeeters. And fans can go to the Skeeters website or visit us when we're out here at the concourse. Enter to win a trampoline, and then right before Labor Day, we're going to do a drawing. One family is going to come to the game on Labor Day before the fireworks, get a Spring Free trampoline, all the bells and whistles, the accessories with them. It's about a $2,500 value that we're going to give away to one Skeeters family.
You know, I live right over there. If you give me a trampoline, I could probably bounce home.
Makes the commute a lot easier.
Exactly. 1 ball and 1 strike here on Prince. Prince looks down at Skeeters manager Gary Gaddy for the sign. Prince been hitting well himself. Let's see if Prince can get Rodriguez over or in here. They set up outside, and the 1-1 from the right-hander Thompson. This one is hit down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Let's see if this one gets into the corner. It will. Rodriguez will stop at third. At second with a double is Prince, and the Skeeters in business here with runners on second and third with nobody out here, so Skeeters a huge chance to get a run or 2 home here for Prince on the season. That is double number 12 on the season. That moves him into second, right behind the just departing Andy Wilkin. So did you use trampolines as a kid?
Absolutely. I was a diver growing up. So
you know how to learn how to do flips and stuff?
Yes,
I know they train you on trampolines for something with gymnastics.
Every day.
So everybody thinks, well, we just naturally learn how to do a double backflip with a half twist, but no, you got to start somewhere. And trampolines, even by Olympians, are the way they start. So that's pretty interesting.
So it's definitely something I've always had a passion for, and it's neat now to see how far they've come from, sort of the days when I had them, and I've got a couple of battle scars to prove it.
I guess they had no nets back then, huh?
No, absolutely not.
Can you do the triple Lindy like Rodney Dangerfield did in Back to School?
I used to back in the day. It's been a few years though.
No balls and 1 strike to count here on Brian Pounds, who has a chance to get a sac fly RBI or 2 RBIs with a base hit. This one on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Pounds. Pounds flew out to right his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Came in just 197. 3 home runs and 16 RBIs for Pounds. Pounds just 5 for his last 31, a 161 mark in his first 8 games as a member of the Skeeters. They set up inside. The 0-2 to Pounds, and this one just misses inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, I went to Australia a few years ago. How did it start over there, and why there? Were you over there? Were you visiting? What was going on?
I was not, unfortunately. But that's where the inventor of Spring Free, that's where he lived, and has 24 patents on different things, and so he started it over there and spent 15 years developing prototypes.
This one is hit to the right side. Will this stay in play? The wind blowing it away from the first baseman Schneider, and he runs out of room about 7 rows back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Where in Australia?
It was started in Sydney,
okay.
and then
Great
now
city.
we have one of our hubs in a city called Christchurch over there.
Wow.
And so we have the whole western, or I guess it's eastern half of the country that we've expanded into, and like I said, we have bases in 18 countries around the world. We own all of our own production lines in China, so as part of the company, everything that we do, we're able to control the quality of the products and the experience that people get when they have a Spring Free.
The 1-2 here by the right-hander Thompson. They come back inside, and this one under the hands of Pounds. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So you still use trampolines now as a grown adult?
That's one of the perks. I wouldn't have joined the company if they didn't tell me I could bounce every day at work. So
nice. That's good exercise, actually. People don't realize.
That's one thing that it is neat. We, as part of the fitness app that we have for it, 10 minutes on our trampoline gives you the same benefits as a 30-minute run.
This one hit to third. It won't advance the runners. Palmero is tossed across a little bit high, but coming down with it is Snyder, and that's a very big first out. 5-3 on the putout from the former Skeeters third baseman, now with Southern Maryland. That'll bring in Anthony Jansanti in his first trip to the plate. He extended his hitting streak to 25 games with a single. Came in at .333 with 3 home runs and 16 RBIs. And are you a baseball fan?
Absolutely. When I finished up at the University of Texas, I was out in Midland, Texas, working for the Oakland A's AA affiliate, the Midland Rockhounds. Spent 6 seasons with them. Was actually hoping to see my buddy Jeremy Barfield out here. Good for him signing with Boston. So it's excited to. Any chance I can get to come to the ballpark, I'm very happy for.
This is your first time out here, or you've been to Skeeters games before?
I came to a few last year.
Okay.
I just recently moved into Katy when I took this position, so I made it a few last year, but it's my first time this season to get to see the ball club.
The defending champion ball club.
Yes, absolutely. That makes it more fun.
The 0-1 coming here to Jansanti. They set up way outside, and this one is swollen and tapped foul down the third base side. No balls and 2 strikes to count. So who was your team growing up?
The Rangers.
Rangers, all right.
I know I'm going to catch some flack for that, especially the way things are going this year. But always been a huge Ranger fan, and it's exciting to see them. But, of course, I've been getting a lot of pressure to adopt these Astros. I've heard they're off to a kind of a good start this year.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about that myself. I think everybody has. So you must have been a big fan of Patrick Palmero's dad, Rafael Palmero?
Yes. He was actually one of my favorite players growing up. I remember when he came time, when he was leaving Baltimore, his contract was up after his first stint in Baltimore, I sent him a letter that said, Rafi, please come back. I was 9 or 10 at the time.
Did it work?
He signed a 5-year deal with him. I don't know if it was my letter or the $45 million Tom Hicks gave him, but something got him back.
I think the letter put him over the edge. The 1-2, this one popped up right side. This has not been productive here for the Skeeters. The second baseman, Lozada, brings it down. So second and third, nobody out. Nobody advances, now 2 down. It's going to take a 2-out hit here from Kevin Ahrens, who popped out to second himself last time up. He's 0 for 1. Comes in at .299, 5 home runs, and has 29 RBIs to go along with that. Skeeters also have 3 in the top 10. Jansanti is 4th in the league in hitting at .333. Wilkins, who now left the Skeeters at .318 still, is 6th in the league, and Ahrens is 9th at .299. three of the top 10 hitters in the Atlantic League, and the Skeeters are going to need both of these guys. The parting of Andy Wilkins, I'm sure Gary Getty has a move he's going to make. There's one a strike on the outside corner. No balls and one strike to count. No score here, bottom of the third. Skeeters no runs on 4 hits. Southern Maryland no runs on 2. Shadows now at the base of the mound. The 0-1 here by the right-hander Thompson as they set up outside. This one swung and missed. No balls and 2 strikes, and Thompson 1 strike away from getting out of a second and third no-out jam here. We'll keep an eye on the Barnstormers score as well. Throughout this game, Skeeters beat Southern Maryland here. They would move into second place regardless of what the Barnstormers do. This one fouled into the net. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Did you play any sports growing up other than swimming?
I did play baseball up until high school, and then when I got into high school, I knew I needed to pick one to focus on in college, so went with diving. Decided I'd follow the money.
You know, if you love baseball and swimming, why don't you go into water polo?
So, well,
seemed like a natural transition. Except if you couldn't ride the horses, they'd have to drown. But other than that, could have been a good move.
Tough. I'll tell you what, in high school, sometimes in the off season, we'd play water polo and had to play against the girls.
This one hit to second. Lozada has it, and that'll do it. 4-3 on the putout.
And they tore me up. They were a little too intense for me, so I decided to stick to the safety of the diving board.
Well, Brian, really appreciate the time. Thanks for both sponsoring the Skeeters and helping us with the broadcast as well. You're one of the broadcast sponsors and have a commercial with us, so we appreciate the support on the broadcast as well, and love the trampolines.
Thanks a lot, gentlemen. When you guys get a break, you know where to find us.
Yeah, I'll try to get away here to bounce on the trampolines before or after the game. Brian Smith, the PR and marketing coordinator for Spring Free Trampoline. We are through 3 innings, and we still have no score. We move to the top of the 4th in a scoreless contest. It's always handy to have my friend Andy Humphrey to take you through the next few. Andy?
Thank you, Ira. First pitch delivered to Zach Wilson is popped high in the air and foul ground. Albert Cordero, first baseman, gets there and reaches behind his back for out number 1. So the first pitch, Gleason retires Wilson on a pop foul just in front of the Skeeters dugout on the first base side. 1 away in the 4th inning. Half a dozen zeros up on the inning scoreboard. We have no score through 3. 4 hits for the Skeeters, 2 for the Blue Crabs so far in this one. 1 out and nobody on base for Michael Snyder. Snyder, the first baseman for the Blue Crabs, is 0 for 1 so far today. Grounded out to third his first time up. Gleason delivers a first pitch ball, which was just a little low. And it's 1-0 now to Michael Snyder. Went 1 for 4 in last night's game. Comes in with 8 homers on the season, 28 runs driven in. He delivers a line drive shot off the wall in left center field. Oliveira picks it up. He throws it into second base, but not in time to get Snyder, who slides in with a one-out double. Blasted off the bat of Snyder there. It got to that left field wall in a hurry, and Snyder picks up a double.
Let's see, his 15th double of the year, and yeah, off the bat, I thought that had a chance to go. Just missed it. A big break for the Skeeters.
Just the third base hit that Gleason has given up, and he's already gone longer than he did in his first start of the season. His only other start that he had last month, he only lasted 2 1/3 innings. He allowed 8 runs, 6 of them earned on 8 hits, as he delivers a slider that swung on and missed by the next batter, Corey Vaughn. Vaughn struck out on 3 pitches his first time up in the second. So Gleason having to work with a runner in scoring position for the second time in this game as he delivers another strike called, and he is ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Gleason now set again, not wasting very much time. Here's the 0-2, and that's hit on the ground to the third baseman, and Pounds will pick it up, make a long throw over to first, and gets Vaughn in time for out number 2.
Pounds with such a good arm down at third. Makes that look so easy. That was not a short throw, and he threw it right on the money with ease.
There was also a bit taken off of that ground ball. It was flared in the air, kind of off the end of the bat, and Pounds didn't have a lot of time to gather it and throw over to make that long throw to first. But he was able to get there in time, and there's 2 away. Still that runner at second base for the Blue Crabs in this scoreless game. We're in the top of the 4th. Here's Devon Rodriguez, but first, calling time is Wilfredo Rodriguez. Let's see if this is just about signs. And he called the home plate umpire over to make sure that it was just about signs, and it is. So Reggie Liggins races back behind the plate with Wilfredo. Devo picked up a single in the second inning. So he is 1 for 1 after going 0 for 2 last night. Drew a couple of walks in last night's game as he takes a first pitch high for ball 1. Rodriguez is a relatively new addition to this Blue Crabs team. He is hitting 11 for 26 in his last 7 games, with a couple of homers and 5 runs driven in over that span as well, as he takes a strike over the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rodriguez. He went undrafted from Cal Berkeley, and last time that he played here in the Houston area, he did pretty well for himself as he hits one down the line, and it rolls into the corner into right field. Coming in to score is Snyder, and rounding second and going to third is Devon Rodriguez, and he will get there safely without a throw all the way to third. An RBI triple from Devon Rodriguez, and the Blue Crabs are the first on the board tonight. It is 1-0 in the 4th.
Well, Devo whipped it good right there, and a triple for Rodriguez. That is his first triple of the year.
And Ira was waiting all this time to take out that reference.
Had to be done.
Didn't have to wait too long in this series, just the second game, so you got to find something else now as the first pitch to Zach Cohn is fouled back to the backstop. Cohn gave one a ride in the second inning, and it looked like Derek Miller wasn't going to be able to get to this long fly ball in time, but he was able to just catch it on that warning track for the second out of the second inning. So Cohn trying to find that stroke once again as he takes a pitch inside for ball 1. It's now a ball and a strike to count. I was mentioning that Devon Rodriguez had done well in the Houston area not too long ago as Cohn takes one high as Rodriguez stands over at third base. He was named the most outstanding player of the 2011 NCAA Houston Regional, the one that Rice hosted a few years ago, as Cohn chops one foul down the first base line and just beyond the Skeeters dugout. The big reason why he was named the most outstanding player of that regional was because he had a walk-off RBI single in the clinching game against Baylor. And He was able to help his Cal Bears over to the Super Regionals, and they eventually went to the College World Series that year as well. This 2-2 pitch is hit up in the air in foul ground, and once again Cordero races over to make the catch for out number 3. The Blue Crabs get on the board thanks to a couple of extra base hits from Snyder and Rodriguez, and through 3.5, it is 1-0 Southern Maryland. Welcome back. It's the bottom of the 4th, and the Skeeters trail the Blue Crabs 1-0 alongside Ira Liebman. I'm Andy Humphrey as Travis Scott will stand in for the Skeeters against Daryl Thompson. Thompson got through the first 2 innings needing just 22 pitches, but he needed 24 to get through the 3rd, so his pitch count is now up to 46 through 3 innings as he winds and deals to Travis Scott. And he takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Scott popped in foul ground to the 3rd baseman his first time up. And this 1-0 pitch is hit high in the air, shallow right center field. Underneath it is the center fielder Vaughn, and he's there for the grab and out number 1. So one quick out for Daryl Thompson. Most of his outs in this game have been through the air. Only 2 ground ball outs induced by Thompson in this one.
In Southern Maryland, that is not a good way to pitch, but here you can get away with it all day long, really.
Yeah, certainly, as Oliveira taps one foul. It came off of his bat twice, I believe.
So, yeah, Jeremy Barfield used to love hitting at Regency Furniture Stadium. You get it in the air to left, it's going to go.
Going to carry quite a while. Also, just 2 ground ball outs, and so far no strikeouts for Daryl Thompson in this one. Which is kind of surprising because in his last start on Sunday, he had 10 strikeouts as he delivers one outside to make it 1-1 to Hector Oliveira, who is 0 for 1 so far on the day. In fact, Daryl Thompson in his last start went 9 innings. Gave up 2 runs on 4 hits as he delivers a changeup to Oliveira that swung on and missed, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just 1 walk and 10 strikeouts in Thompson's last start against New Britain on Sunday. In fact, the Blue Crabs, over the last few games, as Thompson deals and it's fouled back, still 1-2. Last 5 games for the Blue Crabs, they've had 2 starters go 9 innings, give up 2 runs on 4 hits, and get at least 9 strikeouts. But in both games, the Blue Crabs lost, as the 1-2 is hit high in the air to right center field. Once again, here's Vaughn. He's got a longer way to get to this one, and he will get there for the second out.
You're right about Thompson. 49 strikeouts in 60 innings, just 12 walks. So generally he is a strikeout pitcher and also a very good control pitcher, but perhaps he's playing to the ballpark. I know a lot of the Atlantic League opposing pitchers love coming in here for the heat. They feel their arm is very loose very quickly, and also they can get away with a little bit more. They can pitch to the bigger parts of the ballpark, and a little mistake will not go a long way as it does in some of the other parks like Lancaster and York and Southern Maryland.
Thompson deals one high to the next batter, Albert Cordero. 2 outs, nobody on base. The Skeeters down 1-0 to Southern Maryland. It's still pretty amazing, though, that the Blue Crabs were not able to get wins in the last 2 games, but that their starters went 9 innings as Cordero fouls one back. The last time it happened was a few games ago, their last game in York. Before coming here to Sugar Land, Gabby Hernandez went the full 9 but picked up the loss. As Cordero taps one, and it only goes about a foot in front of home plate, and picking it up is the catcher Allen, and he throws out Cordero for the final out. A 1-2-3 frame for Daryl Thompson, and through 4 innings of play, it is 1-0 Southern Maryland. Constellation 1-0 Blue Crabs as we enter the 5th inning at Constellation Field. Alongside Ira Liebman, I'm Andy Humphrey as Patrick Palmero, the former Skeeter, will stand in. Luis Allen, the catcher, and Jose Lozada will follow him. The 8-9-1 hitters for the Blue Crabs due up in this top of the 5th inning. Facing Sean Gleason, pitched pretty effectively, did give up that run on a couple of extra base hits in the 4th, but at 53 pitches so far on the night, that's number 54, and it's low to Patrick Palmero. 1 ball and no strikes. Palmero 1 for 4 in last night's game, as the 1-0 is high from Gleason. 2 balls and no strikes to Palmero. Right-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher, with the Skeeters infield shading slightly to the left side, as that next pitch is low, and it's quickly 3 balls and no strikes against Palmero, and Gleason in danger of allowing his first walk of the game. Here's the 3-0, and that is the first walk of the game. High and inside for ball 4.
You know, Patrick had never gotten a chance to really play every day and really burst onto the scene with the Skeeters. I think there was a lot of trepidation to see if he was too young for this league. But 2 years ago, when Gary Getty gave him a chance, he had 256, 13 home runs, 68 RBIs in 128 games, was a little bit lesser part of the Skeeters championship team last year, playing in just 77 games. But really, for the first time playing every day, he really succeeded well here in the Atlantic League.
Gleason delivers one high to Luis Allen for ball 1. Allen popped foul to the first baseman his first time up in the 3rd. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and This is popped high in the air, shallow right field, drifting into foul ground. Jansanti a long run, but he gets there and makes a basket catch for the out. Just a few steps away from that wall as well as he ran into it there, but was able to slow up to stop his momentum, and that's a long out number one.
That was a terrific play by Jansanti. Knew he was about to crash into the wall, so made a tough do-or-die basket catch there, and big out there.
So back to the top of the order for the Blue Crabs. Jose Lozada is 0 for 2 so far, trying to extend his hitting streak to 5 games, as the first pitch he sees in this at-bat is a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Blue Crabs have had 4 base hits so far in this game. 3 of them are extra base hits. 2 doubles and a triple. As a move to first is not in time. Getting back safely is Palmero. Palmero has not attempted a stolen base yet this year. Here's the 0-1 from Gleason. Swung on, foul tipped into the mitt, 0-2. Lozada came into last night's game as a defensive sub for Edwin Garcia, who appeared to maybe injure his collarbone on a pop fly that maybe he didn't handle. He ended up making the catch. It was a little bit odd from our angle to see why he was hurt, as Lozada hits one into right center field. It falls for a base hit. Jansanti barehands it, gets it in quickly, but Palmero getting there to second base in time. And a single there to put runners at first and second base for the Blue Crabs, and just 1 out.
You can keep Wilson and Snyder, the 3-4 hitters, at bay. You can beat the Blue Crabs, but this is not good right here. First and second. If Garcia gets on, you got both of those guys in a row.
So Garcia stands in now. So obviously that injury that he had last night isn't bothering him enough to keep him out of the lineup, as he stands into the right-handed batter's box. Here's the pitch from Gleason. A breaking ball cuts the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. 1-0 Blue Crabs in this top of the 5th inning. Runners at first and second base and 1 out. Southern Maryland out hitting the Skeeters 5-4. Here's the 0-1. Another breaking ball, and this one hits the inside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. Gleason at 64 pitches now on the night. Takes a look at second and delivers the 0-2. That's fouled and out of play to the right side.
I wonder how far he'll be able to go. He only had 1 start this year, and he went 69 pitches during that one, so pretty close to it right now.
At second is Palmero. At first is Lozada. Still 1 out in this top of the 5th. Here's the 0-2. Inside on the fastball at 93 miles an hour. So Gleason still reaching back and throwing some heat in the middle part of this game. Here's the 1-2. Popped high in the air, foul ground. This will get out of play as well and keep it at a ball and 2 strikes. There is now some action in the Skeeters bullpen. Looks like it's Chris Tribett warming up out there. I saw Tribett warming up during the 9th inning last night. He probably wasn't going to get in the game. Julio DePaulo was on for the save. He was probably just getting some pitches in because he hasn't pitched in a while, as this is lined foul and comes off the wall in right field. Still 1-2 to Garcia.
That is Tribett, and he's going to get some more work with some of the injuries to Hale and Zenicola.
1-0 Blue Crabs. Runners at first and second base and 1 down in the top of the 5th. Here's the 1-2 from Gleason. Again, that's hit foul to the right-hand side, so Garcia's fouling off some pitches. He's not seeming to catch up to the pitch from Gleason. He's a little bit late on there, fouling off the opposite way. So just trying to time up Gleason just a bit.
Gleason might want to go low and away. Those pitches coming inside, he's going the other way very well with them.
That's what I'm thinking too. Probably breaking ball, but again, it's fouled back. I think that was a fastball that time.
He's leaving him way too far over the plate.
Closing in on 70 pitches now. And you never know how long he can go. Usually a long relief guy in the Skeeters pitching staff when guys are healthy. Here's the 1-2 from Gleason. It's popped high in the air. Will this stay in play? It's in foul ground. Rodriguez is chasing, and he gets there just a step away from the screen to make the catch for out number 2. So Lozada putting up a fight and fouling off what was probably 6 or 7 straight pitches, but in the end, Rodriguez is able to get to that one.
Nice play, too. Basket catch also went into the net after the catch. That wind is really wreaking a lot of havoc out there all over the field.
And it's a big out number 2 for Gleason with runners at first and second base. Still trying to keep the lead at 1 run for the Blue Crabs. Here's the DH, Zach Wilson. First pitch is in the dirt and away. So that's ball 1 to Wilson, who led off his night with a double in the first inning. Last time up, he popped in foul ground to the first baseman, Cordero. Gleason will deliver the 1-0. Breaking ball over the inside corner for a called strike. 1-1 now to Wilson. Wilson, a really nice year with Southern Maryland last season. 19 homers, 70 RBIs. He hit 278 as he takes a pitch low in the dirt blocked by Rodriguez. 2 balls and 1 strike. He also had 34 doubles last season, and he is certainly climbing up with that number more and more this year, as he's got now 5, adding the one that he had in the first inning tonight. Takes another one outside. It's 3-1 now to Wilson. On deck is Michael Snyder. Gleason trying to get out of this jam with runners at first and second base. A 1-0 lead for the Blue Crabs. 3-1. Breaking ball over the outside corner for a called strike to fill it up at 3-2, and Gleason having some confidence with that breaking pitch, throwing it on 3-1.
I know Gary would like to get him through 5. Now he's 1 pitch away from going through. The question is, if he gets out of this, do you bring him back for a 6th?
Payoff pitch with runners on the move, and this one's hit on the ground through the hole on the right side for a base hit. Coming home is the runner Palmero, and it's bobbled by Jansanti in right. Getting to third base is Lozada, and it's an RBI single for Zach Wilson to make it 2-0 Blue Crabs in the 5th.
I don't know if Jansanti would have had to play at the plate, but he was coming up ready to throw. Kind of ran over it and then bobbled it. And here comes Gary Gaddy, so Gleason might not make it out of this inning. I know he wants to get him through 5.
So in comes Chris Tribett now, as Gleason cannot get through the 5th. He lasts 4 2/3. And we'll have a new pitcher in the top of the 5th when we come back. It's runners at the corners with 2 down, and the Blue Crabs now up 2-0 over the Skeeters. back at Constellation Field for the bottom of the 5th inning. The Skeeters are down 2-0 to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs in the second game of this 6-game series between Sugar Land and Southern Maryland. Skeeters won last night 7-4, with Brett Marshall getting the victory. He's now 5-2 on the season, has the most wins of any Skeeters pitcher this year. Sean Gleason, the starter for the Skeeters tonight, was just pulled for Chris Trivett, lasting 4 2/3. Gave up 2 earned runs on 6 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts for Gleason. So now his offense is going to try and pick him up and get him off the hook for the loss. Here's Derek Miller in to face Darrell Thompson on the mound for his 5th inning of work, and Thompson delivers a called strike to Miller, 0-1. Miller 0 for 1, popped up to the first baseman his first time up. The 0-1 from Thompson, hit high in the air on the right-hand side, and it looks like this one will be out of play about 5 rows deep. Into the seats, and a nice catch by a fan. There are a couple of nice catches in the last couple of innings by the spectators.
Scoring that?
Let's go with, well, how many people are here? We're going to get the attendance number soon.
I have it for you. It's 7,407 fans here tonight.
Here's the 0-2 pitch, hit high in the air into left center field. Who's going to take this one? Rodriguez battling the sun still, and he's there for the catch and the out on Miller. So 1 down for Thompson, who is still under 60 pitches on the night, 59 for the right-hander.
And at this rate, he could go 9 again.
Here's Wilfredo Rodriguez. Continues his hot hitting. He had a single in the 3rd. He now has a 7-game hitting streak as he taps one to the right of home plate foul for strike 1. Had a couple of RBIs last night, going 3 for 4. So Gary Gaetti keeping him in the lineup. Of course, Gary Gaetti has no choice but to keep him in the lineup because he's only got 9 position players in the roster right now. Here's a line drive to right field. Coming in and making the catch is Zach Cohn near his shoestrings, and he makes that one on the run for out number 2.
Rodriguez just hitting very well right now. That's what he does best, go the other way, and it really got robbed of a hit there by Cohn, but hit a bullet away from Cohn and managed to catch up to it. But Alfredo is on his game. Going the other way is really his thing. Rarely really pull when he's on a roll.
Thompson has now sat down 8 straight. The last guy to reach base is Josh Prince, and he's now at the dish with 2 down and nobody on base, and the Blue Crabs up 2-0. Prince takes one low and away, ball 1. Prince doubled in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2 in this game, and he now has an 8-game hitting streak as he checks his swing, but it comes off his bat foul. 1-1 now to Prince, who is at his conventional position, second base tonight. He's had to move around quite a bit with guys being injured. Of course, Lance Sawadsky, the usual shortstop, still on the DL as he takes one outside, 2-1. And of course, the Skeeters are now stretched thin, as I was mentioning earlier, with the departure of Andy Wilkins. Wilkins getting signed just recently by the Twins as Prince takes one outside, 3-1. I think all the Twins had to do was just look at his first name and think, you know, that guy has to be good. 3-1. That's called strike on the outer edge, and it fills it up at 3-2. 2 outs and nobody on base. Skeeters down 2-0. Here's the payoff pitch from Thompson. Swung on, fouled back by Prince, and we'll have another 3-2. Of course, these two teams right next to each other in the Freedom Division standings. Southern Maryland just a half game up on the Skeeters, a game above 500 in second place. And a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Prince had thrown his bat away and started going to first base, and now he looks back at Reggie Liggins saying, where was that? but he is called out on strikes, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Thompson. He has sat down 9 straight. After 5 innings, it's 2-0 Blue Crabs. Well, Skeeters fans, tomorrow it's Sunday Fun Day at Constellation Field on June 11th at 6:05 p.m. first pitch. And be one of the first 2,000 fans through the gates, and you'll receive a free Lightning Phone fan courtesy of Constellation Energy. To get your tickets, call 281-240-HITS or visit us online at sugarlandskeeters.com. Tell you what, those Lightning Phone fans are lightsabers these time of year.
You don't have no idea. New Britain, it almost saved my life last year. I am in a booth inside of a booth with equipment in there that's extremely hot with no air conditioning. Other than that, it's comfortable in there.
Chris Tribett delivers one up high to Corey Vaughn for ball 1 in this 2-0 game. Southern Maryland on top. And those things really don't have, they don't take very much battery life either, as this one's hit high in the air, and that will one-hop the wall and get over the fence for a ground rule double. So Corey Vaughn, on the second pitch that he sees in the at-bat, drives one to left center field, and it one-hops the left center field fence for a double.
That's the 10th double of the year, and now he is the 3rd member of the Blue Crabs with a triple double, if you will.
Yeah, 4 extra base hits for the Skeeters, or for the Blue Crabs, I should say, in this one. 7 hits and 4 of them for extra bases. Here's Devon Rodriguez. He's got 2 of those hits. He had an RBI triple last time up in the 4th inning. Takes one outside for ball 1. I was telling you a little bit about Devo's story in a couple innings ago, how he was the most outstanding player in the NCAA Regional that Cal played in 2011 here in Houston, as he hits one on the ground. And Prince is going to go to third base. Do they get him? Yes, they do. A nice play, both by Prince throwing over to third base, and Pounds delivering the tag on a non-force play, and they get the lead runner.
Talking about confidence in your throw. I didn't think he had a chance to get him at third. What a throw by Prince. That's another advantage you have with him at second. I always say he has the range of a shortstop, because he does play shortstop, as we've seen this year. We also get the arm of a shortstop over there at second.
So the fielder's choice goes 4-5 on that play, and there's one out with a man on first. Tribett delivers a pitch that's smacked into left field by Zach Cohn. And that extends the inning. Runners at first and second base, still only 1 out. Tribett's only thrown 5 pitches, but he's faced 3 batters. Here's Patrick Palmero. He reached base last inning, drawing a walk to lead off the 5th, and later came around to score the 2nd run of the game for the Blue Crabs. They're up 2-0 in this top of the 6th. Devon Rodriguez leading off at second base. The lead runner as Tribut looks over there. Here is the pitch. That was in tight, and it almost hit Palmero. I think if it weren't for the cut on that breaking pitch, that Palmero would have been plunked and the bases would have been loaded, but instead it's ball one.
Yeah, Palmero didn't have a chance to move. He just stood there and hoped that it curved, and it did.
Next curveball is down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Righty on righty as Tribut bends over at the waist and delivers home the 2-0. That one's hit hard but foul. It hooks into the picnic area on the left-hand side. So now 2-1 to the 8-hole hitter Patrick Palmero. Luis Allen, the catcher, awaits on deck. Sugarland Skeeters coming into this game at 500, 24-24. And they're almost 500 between their home and road record as well. 13-12 here at Constellation Field, 12-13 elsewhere. 2-1. Hit high in the air and foul ground on the right-hand side. It'll get out of play. So an even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Palmero. Tribut pitching for the first time since the last homestand for the Skeeters, which was more than 2.5 weeks ago. Tribut now ready, Palmero now ready for the 2-2. A long pause by Tribut, and time is called. I don't know who called time. It may have been Palmero, or it could have been Rodriguez. But Reggie Liggins scurried out of the way, and there's nothing faster than an umpire getting out of that batter's box right as to call time. He just scurries out of there as fast as he can. So no pitch there. Runners at first and second base, 1 out, 2-0 Blue Crabs in the top of the 6th. 2-2, up high. Rodriguez leading off at second, and Zach Cohn leading off at first. Payoff pitch to Palmero, swung on, foul back to the screen. Really nice crowd on hand tonight, 7,407. All in attendance for some post-game fireworks after this one. Also got the Boy Scouts sleeping over in the outfield after tonight's game. Here's the 3-2 with the runners on the move, swing and a miss. The throw to third base is thrown into left field, and coming in to score is Rodriguez. Backing up to play Oliveira, getting to third Cone, and it's going to be a throwing error on Rodriguez. Man, he would have gotten him by a mile if it had been a good throw. Rodriguez did not get a good jump, and they would have had to strike him out, throw him out, double play. But instead, a throwing error by Rodriguez brings in a run, and it's 3-0 Blue Crabs.
That's a shame. It would have been the third out. Cost the Skeeters another run. Now instead of being down 2-0, you're down 3-0 as this game is getting into later stages of the game.
So now 2 down and a runner at third, as this first pitch is up high and in tight to Luis Allen, the catcher, for ball 1. Here's Tribut with the 1-0, and it's on the inside corner for a called strike, 1-1. Luis Allen has popped into foul ground twice in tonight's game so far. Here's the 1-1, and Allen hits it on the left-hand side, coming in, pounds, and he's got it to throw over to first for the out. So another run comes in to score on a throwing error by Rodriguez. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. 3-0 Blue Crabs after 5.5 innings here at Constellation Field. Skeeters down 3-0 to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning. Fans, don't miss Parrot Head Night at Constellation Field on Saturday, June 24th. After the Skeeters game, stay late and enjoy some classic Buffett music from Jerry Diaz and Hannes Reef as part of our post-game concert series presented by Bud Light. Get your tickets by calling 281-240-HITS or going online to sugarlandskeeters.com. Alongside Ira Liebman, I'm Andy Humphrey. It'll be the 2-3-4 hitters for the Skeeters facing off against Daryl Thompson in inning number 6. For the right-hander on the mound, Pounds, the third baseman for the Skeeters, will stand in. 0 for 2 so far on the night with a pop fly to right and a ground ball to third, as he takes a first pitch strike on the outer edge for strike one. 69 pitches for Daryl Thompson through the first 5. 0-1 outside to make it 1 ball and 1 strike to Pounds. Anthony Jansanti, Kevin Ahrens await in this bottom half of the 6th. Skeeters trying to find the runs. They've been held scoreless, and Thompson so far has retired the last 9 Skeeters batters. This pitch is hit into center field right at Corey Vaughn. He started to his left and then at the very last second moved to his right. Seeing that one late.
Yeah, a little bit of knuckleball to that movement.
But it's an out in the end, and Anthony Jansanti, the man with the 25-game hitting streak, coming up to bat now. He is 1 for 2 in the game. Here's the first pitch to Jansanti from Thompson, and it's up high, I believe, for ball 1. Jansanti once again in the outfield. He's been playing at second base quite a bit in the last few games as he swings and misses on a pitch low to make it 1-1. Pretty versatile. He can play pretty much anywhere in the outfield. He started out this season as the starting center fielder. Then the Skeeters signed Derek Miller, and Miller started to really hit the ball well and eventually earned that starting center field job as Jansanti swings and misses to make it 1-2. But Jansanti was hitting pretty well himself, and guys on the Skeeters started to go down to injury at that point in the season, so Jansanti was moved around the outfield and had to play some second base as well. Here's the 1-2, and that's hit hard into left field. This will get down for another base hit in front of Devon Rodriguez in left, and Jansanti is 2 for 3 in the game, and the Skeeters have their first base hit since the 3rd.
That's his 12th multi-hit game during this 25-game hitting streak as well.
Here's the shortstop, Kevin Ahrens. Daryl Thompson, despite giving up that base hit, still pretty cool and collected out there. There's no action in the pen for the Blue Crabs. You call that the Crab Shack, don't you?
I do.
Yep.
Still looking for a good one for the Revolution. It's been hard.
Oh, the barricade. First pitch is a called strike on the inside corner. The Barracks.
The Barracks. There you go. You're onto something there.
Aaron's 0 for 2. He popped out to second base and grounded out to second base in this game. He has a half-hearted swing and a miss there. No balls and 2 strikes.
Aaron's rarely fooled on a pitch, but he was fooled there.
Break that. Fastball seemed to have some dip to it. It's a bit more like a sinker. Jansanti at first with 1 out. In the bottom of the 6th inning, the Skeeters down 3-0. Long pause by Thompson and the 0-2. Taking that one outside is Ahrens. 1 ball and 2 strikes with Travis Scott, the designated hitter, waiting on deck for the Skeeters.
Well, the nice thing about Kevin being able to play back here in Houston, his dad is actually here at the game. He was here last night as well.
1-2. And Ahrens hits this one softly to the right-hand side. Picking it up with the glove is Lozada, tossing to first for the out. So moving to second is Jansanti with 2 down in the 6th. How to bring up Travis Scott. Hitting a rough patch as of late is the Skeeters DH slash first baseman slash player coach.
You know, Thompson mentioned the 9 innings last time out. You'd say, well, this next pitch here actually will be 80, and maybe he won't make it through 9, but he's thrown 116 plus pitches in 2 of his last 3 outings, 116 and 118.
And he's lasted at least 7 in each of his last 3 games. First pitch to Scott is a breaking ball on the inside corner. Scott was fooled by that one, and it's strike 1. Scott has been retired through the air twice in this game. He struck out 4 times last night. He also drew a walk in last night's game and scored a run. 0-1 pitch is on the outside corner this time, 0-2. Travis Scott did not look too happy about that last strike call from Reggie Liggins. He's in the hole now, 0-2 with Jansanti at second base, 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. Skeeters down 3-0 to the Blue Crabs. Southern Maryland can even the series at 1 apiece, with the Skeeters winning last night's opener as Scott flies to center field. Coming in a few steps is Vaughn, and he brings it down for the final out, and that is the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, a man left for the Skeeters. Through 6, it is 3-0 Southern Maryland. Back with the 7th after this. Skeeters will bring out a new pitcher before the start of this 7th inning. 3-0 the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs on top, as Trey Haley is the new hand out of the bullpen for Sugarland. Haley on the season is 1-0 with a 1.59 ERA through 17 appearances, 17 innings pitched, 14 hits, just 3 runs. 13 walks, 14 strikeouts for Haley, league hitting .233 against him this year, as he comes in relief of Chris Tribett, who lasted an inning in the 3rd and gave up an unearned run in that 6th inning on 2 hits, no walks, and a strikeout. 3-0 Southern Maryland, and with the call of the action, here's Ira Liebman.
Thanks a lot, Andy. Lozada, Garcia, and Wilson here, 1, 2, and 3. Top of the order here in the top of the 7th, with the Skeeters trailing 3-0. Lozada's 1 for 3. He singled and scored his last time up. He has also flied out and grounded out. First pitch to the switch hitting Lozada, batting here from the left side, is outside. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Haley, a former 2nd round pick of the Indians in 2008. Last year, split time between Altoona and Indianapolis at AA and AAA, all in the Pirate system. Only 2 systems he's been in, Cleveland and the Pirates. Pirates just last year. He spent his entire career from 2008 to 2015 in the Cleveland organization. Was originally a starter up until 2010 at Lake County, but since then he has started just 5 games. This one grounded right side of the mound. Haley will throw it overhand a little bit high, but in time. 1-3 on the put out. And there's one down here. So with 1 out and none on, in steps Edwin Garcia, the shortstop. Garcia has struck out, grounded out, and fouled out. Garcia came in at 250 with 9 home runs, no home runs, and 9 RBIs. Righty-righty matchup here for Haley. This one is a fastball that misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Haley, the Nacogdoches, Texas native. They set up inside and the 1 away inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Walks had been a problem for Haley in the past. In fact, last year a perfect example at both AA and AAA. He had 11 walks and 11 Ks at AA, 32 walks and 32 strikeouts at AAA. This one swung and grounded foul. When you look at his career numbers, in 455 innings pitched, he has struck out an impressive 423, but he has walked 330. 2 balls and 1 strike to count here to Garcia. Shadows now all the way across the infield and outfield, just a little bit on the center field wall of sun. The 2-1 ripped through the left side. There's a base hit for Garcia. It is the 6th hit of the game, the 9th hit of the game for the Blue Crabs. So 1 on and 1 out here for Zach Wilson. Wilson 2 for 3, had an RBI single his last time up, fouled out, and his first time up doubled. Wilson 270, 9 home runs and 36 RBIs. And he generally in the Atlantic League, for the most part, it's usually 4 All-Stars per team. You're looking at these 2 teams. Let's start with the Skeeters. Who do you like for All-Stars, especially, I guess, now that you have to eliminate Andy Wilkins from this conversation?
You certainly do. He would have definitely been one of the shoe-ins if he was still in the Atlantic League, but congratulations to him as he'll be moving on to the Southern League. I think Anthony Jansanti certainly has to be your top candidate for the All-Star.
No question. There goes the runner. This one down low. The throw down to second, not in time. Good tag by Kevin Aarons, but a stolen base for Garcia. And now a runner down at second with 1 away. Garcia on the season, his 5th steal in 6 attempts.
You know, I think Dustin Richardson's another guy that could be out of the bullpen. We'll have to see how long it takes Jake Hale to get healthy. I think he's probably the most likely starter from the Skeeters that could make the team.
Who would you like as the 4th All-Star?
You know, the way that Wilfredo Rodriguez has been hitting these last few games, if he keeps that going, he is definitely in the conversation.
You might have to give the edge to Kevin Aarons for that 4th spot.
No, I mean, it's still. Both guys, I mean, you're splitting hairs for the most part.
The 2-1. This one way inside. 3 balls and a strike. And who would be the 4 you'd pick for Southern Maryland?
You know, there are certainly some candidates. I mean, the man on the mound that they've had in this one, Daryl Thompson, has to be.
No doubt.
One of those guys. In the lineup, there's some pretty interesting guys. One in Devon Rodriguez, who hasn't played all this time in Southern Maryland.
This one hit through the left side for a base hit. Runners on 1st and 3rd with only 1 out. Now Skeeter's in some trouble. I think you got to look at both of these guys. Wilson had just had this hit, and now Snyder, who's coming to the plate.
First baseman number 16, Snyder.
So Gabby Hernandez is 3-1 with a 2.12 ERA. Could make a start. Brian Grenning 3-1 with a 2.88 ERA. They have a closer, Cody Epley. He's got 13 saves and a 1.74 ERA. What about Brett Marshall for the Skeeters? Tied for the league lead in wins.
Yeah, probably.
Well, in steps Snyder. First pitch here is under his hands. 1 ball and no strikes to count here. a look around the Atlantic League scoreboard here right after this pitch. We have one final already. The 1-0. This one low 2-0. The Bees beat the Patriots 6-1. That a final. It is the Barnstormers leading York 3-1, which is not good for the Skeeters. That's in the top of the 7th. Still a long way to go in that one. That one at York. Anything can happen there. The Ducks beating the Bridgeport Bluefish 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th. The 2-0 inside, ball 3-0, and nearly one pitch away from loading the bases here with one away. Skeeters are trailing 3-0 here in the top half of the 7th inning. This one is down low, ball 4. Bases are loaded here with just one away.
Well, Haley retired the first man he faced, but then let the next 3 reach on 2 singles and a walk. And he's now up to 16 pitches, and there's action now in the bullpen as I believe that's Scott Main getting loose.
So in steps Corey Vaughn. Vaughn doubled his last time up. He's also grounded out and struck out. And we're going to have a visit to the mound here by the Skeeters pitching coach, Rafi Montalvo. Well, remember on July 15th, it'll be Craig Biggio Hall of Fame bobblehead night. The first 2,000 fans will receive a free Craig Biggio Hall of Fame bobblehead courtesy of Sanders, Morris, and Harris. To get your tickets, call 281-240-HITS or log on to SugarlandSkeeters.com. See if Montalvo can straighten out Haley here with a couple of words of wisdom. Certainly also a little bit of a stall tactic as they want to get pitchers loose in the bullpen here as well. This could be the game for the Skeeters. They're down 3-0 already. A hit or an extra base hit could be that final nail. Skeeters will have to get out of this somehow. So just to reset at third base, it is Garcia. At second, it is Zach Wilson. And at third, Michael Schneider. First pitch here, swung and foul tipped into the mitt of Wilfredo Rodriguez. Strike one, 0-1 the count. Vaughn came in at 274, 4 home runs and 17 RBIs. This one swung on, popped up right side. I don't think Cordero will have a play. He won't. Watches that one into the seats. However, Haley up. No balls and 2 strikes to count here on Vaughn. Vaughn came into the season 246, 75 home runs and exactly 300 career RBIs with 75 steals, 100 doubles. It's in 607 career games coming in. Good pitch by Haley. Waste pitch misses a few inches inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Haley's next pitch will be pitch number 20, 8 for strikes, 11 for balls. The 1-2. This one misses inside again, 2-2. Does not want to go 3-2 here with the bases loaded and 1 down. Blue Crabs have scored solo runs in each of the last 3 innings. Leading 3-0 here in the top of the 7th. Skeeters trying to keep it that way. The 2-2. Swung and rope foul in and out of the Blue Crabs dugout on the left side. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Southern Maryland. No runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for the Skeeters. This one hit into left field. Coming in is Oliveira. Let's see his arm. Here comes the throw. It's going to be way offline. Coming out to score is Garcia, and it is a 4-0 Blue Crabs lead. Sac fly RBI, the 18th ribby for Vaughn.
And that was a wild throw from Oliveira, and he's kicking himself there. That was one that took Wilfredo Rodriguez well up that third base line and had way too much air underneath it. No chance to get the runner.
With 2 down, 1 in, and 2 on, in steps Devon Rodriguez, who is 2 for 3. He has singled, tripled, driven in a run, reached on a fielder's choice, stole a base, and then scored a run. He's done a little bit of everything here tonight. This one swung and hits a second. This should do it. Prince has it, and he'll flip it to first, and that'll do it. 4-3 on the putout. Well, it is 7th inning stretch time. Get your peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I do care if you never come back. Skeeters trailing 4-0.
Please turn your attention to the first base side of the field for a very special presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the city of Sugarland, Andrea, and she's going to be singing a very special rendition of God Bless America.
Hey, they're singing God Bless America. Can you put on another 30 seconds to start here? Might be more, though, depending on how long this lasts.
Are they just playing Take Me Out to the Ball Game over though?
I don't think they're doing anything. I don't know.
All right.
I texted Tyler. He said City's doing something, but he didn't respond to my last text if we're doing a stretch at all. But either way, I can't do it. She's got the mic.
Huh.
Yeah, another 30. Give me one more 30.
We've got employees from the city of Sugarland that will lead us in that baseball classic.
This could be forever.
Take it away.
Okay, you gotta get it going here.
Well, we move to the bottom of the 7th. I hope you're all stretched out. Nathan back in the studio limbering up, stretching out, as is Andy here and I. Skeeters trailing 4-0. It'll be Hector Oliveira, Albert Cordero, and Derek Miller. This one up to the right side. The first baseman, Snyder, will flip it to his pitcher, Thompson. 1 pitch, 1 out. 3-1 on the putout. That'll bring in Albert Cordero with 1 out, none on. Cordero has one of the Skeeters' 5 hits. He is 1 for 2. He has singled in, grounded out to the catcher. Switch hitter will bat here from the left side. Cordero came in at .255 with 2 home runs and 13 RBIs. First pitch here from the right-hander Thompson. And scoring to bunt is Cordero. I'm taking that was all for a show, down 4-0. Cordero is 9 for 39 over his last 9 games coming into this one, a .230 average. The 1-0. There's one, a strike on the outside corner. That was the 85th pitch for Thompson. 65 of them for strikes, just 20 for balls, over 3-to-1 strike to ball ratio. Check swing to third, slow roller, charging it is Palmero. They'll throw it to first in time, and there's 2 down.
That was an interesting chopper. It was off a check swing, and I don't even think Cordero took it even halfway across the plate. And it was just in fair territory, almost beat it out for a hit.
Thompson has retired 14 of the last 15 Skeeters hitters now. So he's got a hit a last inning, a 1-out single by Jan Santi. Before that, you go all the way back to the 3rd. Well, 2 outs, none on here, and Derek Miller will step in, and he squares the bunt, and it dandy, but it's just going to hook foul. If that had stayed fair, they would have no shot. And you always see the catcher kind of swipe it and try to get it and make sure it doesn't roll back into fair territory. Bruce Allen did one better. He just kicked it.
He's probably a soccer fan.
Probably. Of course, the one I always remember, Lenny Randall at third trying to blow the ball foul. That is not legal.
Oh, why not? Not touching it.
You can't intentionally
Not touching it.
impede a ball that's already in fair territory. He tried to blow it foul.
Ah.
No balls and 1 strike here on Miller. Miller 0 for 2. He has popped out to first and flied it to left. The 0-1 is high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Blue Crabs have twice the hits the Skeeters have. 10 hits to the Sugarlands 5, and they're leading 4-0 over the Skeeters. The 1-1. Swan hit high in the air to left field. Moving towards the line is Devo, and he'll bring it down for the final out. So Thompson continues to roll on here. He has retired 15 of the last 16, has a 3-up, 3-down inning here. We are through 7 innings of play. It is still the Blue Crabs up 4-0 over Sugarland.
Skeeters will go to the bullpen once again, down 4-0 to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, and out comes the left-hander Scott Main, who is now making his 5th appearance for the Skeeters this season. No record, a 4.15 ERA. Through 4 1/3 innings, he's allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Atlantic League hitting 143 against Maine, who spent all of last year with the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and went 1-3 with a 3.52 earned run average. Only walked 16, struck out 42 through 38 1/3 innings pitched, and comes on for Trey Haley, who pitched the 7th and gave up an earned run on 2 hits, a walk, and no strikeouts for Haley.
So Maine will take over here. last year, those 50 appearances all out of the bullpen. He has made starts before. In fact, in 2015, he made 14 appearances, all starts for the Bluefish. And I got to think Gary Getty's plan is eventually, as he builds up some more stamina, he may move into this rotation with the injuries to Zach Senecola and to Jake Hale. Skeeters are down 4-0. It'll be the bottom of the order here in the top of the 8th for Southern Maryland. Zach Cohen, Patrick Palmero, Luis Allen. This one is fouled back over our heads. No balls and 1 strike to count. Cohen has flied out to center, fouled out to first, singled last time up. He is 1 for 3 officially. They're going to set up inside. And the 0-1 from the former big leaguer is popped up. Jam shot. Rodriguez to the right of home will bring it down for the first out. Maine, a career record of 20-17, a 3.58 ERA, 43 saves, including a career high 12. While at AAA Iowa with the I-Cubs in 2011. He's got some big league experience with the Cubs from 2010 through 2012. Also pitched for Cleveland that year. Jazzotti pitched both for the Cubs and the Indians, who were in the World Series together last year. Pitched for both teams in 2012, and it's been the last time he's been at the big league level. Big league totals of 2 and 3, a 5.55 ERA, and 50 career appearances at the big leagues. 1 ball and no strikes to count here on Palmero. This one low and in near the feet of Patrick. 2 balls and no strikes. Skeeters trailing 4-0 here in the top half of the 8th inning. Take another peek at that Barnstormers game. It's going to be a big game here. This one is fouled off to our right. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. That game's still going on. Still 3-1, bottom of the 7th inning. The Ducks beat Bridgeport. That one a final, 3-1. Skeeters trailing 4-0 here. They're going to set up inside again. The 2-1 from Maine. This one is low and in. Ball 3, 3-1. Tomorrow in game 3, it'll be Skeeters right-hander Michael Nix against Southern Maryland righty Drew Hayes. The 3-1. Swan, he missed. Good fastball there by Maine. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. See if they come back inside here on Palmero. Maine shakes off the first side. They do set up inside. Payoff pitch, swung and rope foul down the third base line. That one caroms into the stands. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Palmero. Skeeters 4 runs on 10 hits. The Skeeters no runs on 5. Sugar Land's committed 1 error. The Blue Crabs have not. Again, the payoff pitch to Palmero. They set up away this time, and this one high and outside, ball 4. Third walk of the night for the Blue Crabs. A 1 on and 1 out as the number 9 hitter steps in, and that's Luis Allen. Allen has fouled out twice, once to first, once to right, and grounded out to third last time up. He's 0 for 3. Switching gears a little sports-wise here, Andy. What'd you think last night? 1 win of having an undefeated playoffs for Golden State. They couldn't pull it off. So close. That would have been some feat. I mean, really, of any sport, anywhere.
Well, yeah, and certainly we didn't get a chance to watch, but I heard about, Draymond Green getting the technical foul and, getting a little bit hot in that third quarter, and it seemed like the Warriors were well on their way, but seemed to implode a little bit. Cleveland won by quite a bit of points, too. It wasn't a close one.
No, it was not. Neither won the first 3. A lot of people always feel the fix is in with the NBA, wanting the Caesars to go a little further.
Well, Game 3 was actually pretty close. The Cleveland actually was leading after
This one diving play by Jansanti. Might get a double play here, and he does. What a play by Anthony Jansanti, and Wright dives for a ball in front of him. Has the presence of mind to come up, throw a strike to first. Great scoop by Cordero. That double play will go down 9-3. Nicely done by the Skeeters right field, a 25-game hitting streak, and doing it defensively as well. Middle of the 8th, Skeeters down 4-0.
Daryl Thompson is lifted in this bottom of the 8th inning as the Blue Crabs will go to the bullpen up 4-0. Zach Thornton will be the man to relieve Daryl Thompson. Thornton on the season, no record with a 1.80 ERA with the Blue Crabs in 5 appearances. 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. As he comes in for Daryl Thompson, who pitched phenomenally tonight. No runs allowed on 5 hits through 7 innings of work, no walks, and only 1 strikeout. He was pitching mostly to contact in this one, and he only grabbed 1 strikeout after getting 10 in his last start when he went 9 innings. But coming in is Zach Thornton, and Thornton was drafted twice in the 43rd round by the Giants in 2008, 23rd round by the A's in 2010. He's been as high as AAA with Pittsburgh and the Mets. And just recently, last March, he was pitching for Team Israel in the 2017 World Baseball Classic.
Thought his name sounded familiar. There was 5 players from the Atlantic League on that Team Israel team. This one sky to center on the first pitch by Wilfredo Rodriguez. And bringing it down to center fielder Corey Vaughn for out number 1. Skeeters need to get the bats moving here. They're down 4-0. Only have 5 more outs to work with as we go back to the top of the order with Josh Prince, Josh Zide, Blake Galen, who we just saw with the Barnstormers, also part of that Team Israel team. It's a really fun team to watch. Did you get into the World Baseball Classic?
I sure did.
Yeah.
It's always fun every 4 years to watch those guys.
It's going to be interesting where they put that now with the Olympics. Are they going to stagger it a year before, a year after? A year before would make sense, getting ready for the following year for the Olympics.
Probably. I mean, the way it's set up now is that it will be a year after, because the next one is not until 2021. So you're going to get one. So you're going to get the Olympics, the return of baseball in the Olympics for 2020. Go ahead. Oh, well, there was some Olympic news yesterday. They finalized the events for the summer 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, and they're adding some new ones.
Which were? It's always cool. That's the one thing about the Olympics.
The most popular one that they're adding, 3-on-3 basketball.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's a little unusual because you're still already going to have basketball.
Yep, half court and 3-on-3.
Wow. One thing about the Olympics is that, which people don't realize, is that the host country is supposed to expose you to new sports from their country. Although I didn't know they played 3-on-3 there in China.
New event. They're also mixing. They're actually having mixed gender events as well. So they're going to have co-ed swimming events, like relays. Yeah, like relays,
Very
and then
cool idea.
and also for track for some of the relays.
The 2-2 is grounded just short. Garcia will throw out Prince. 6-3 on the put out, and there's 2 down. That is a great idea, actually. I really like that.
Yeah, it'd probably get a limit to, you probably get 2 men, 2 women, but yeah, you would love to see, certainly with the United States team with Katie Ledecky, how well she performed in this last
Passing
Olympics.
it to Phelps or something like that would be interesting.
Certainly is in that category as far as, in the women's competition, and I'd love to see her race against the men.
Well, 2 outs, none out for Brian Pound. Skeeters trailing 4-0 here. This one swung and chop foul to the right of home. No balls and 1 strike to count. Thornton spent the last 2 years at AAA with the Mets. Last year 0-3, a 7.03 ERA. The year before 4-4 with a 3.94 ERA and 2 saves. Now the umpire comes to the mound without the catcher. What is this about? Both the catcher, Luis Allen, and Pound's talking as well. Now the umpire is going to tell the catcher something. What is going on here? I don't think I've ever seen that.
That was a weird dynamic. I don't know what it was about.
No balls and 1 strike here to Pounds.
I don't know if there was a foul tip and maybe the umpire was giving the catcher some time to shake it off.
This one is low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Pounds. Now what can an umpire be saying to a pitcher just by himself with nobody else? Throw faster? Base of play rules are in effect, but might be over the top. The 1-1. This one low and away in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. They'll get a new baseball. Skeeters trailing 4-0 here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The 2-1 swung and fouled off to the right side. That'll leave the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs and none on. Remember Wednesday, the final game of this series, an early morning contest. Thornton looks in for the sign from Allen. See if they go back outside. They will. And the 2-2. Check swing, roll it a first, foul. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thornton, while in college, he went to Ventura College at first, and he was 11-1 with a 1.21 ERA in 12 starts, and went on to Oregon. 9-0 with a 3.40 ERA in his last season there. That's what got him drafted in the 23rd round by the A's. This one swung and missed as Ventura, great off-speed pitch, pulled the string, and that'll do it. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Crabs pitchers. We are through 8 innings of play. It is still the Blue Crabs in front, 4-0 over Sugar Land.
Fifth pitcher of the night now comes on for the Skeeters, down 4-0 to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, and it's Mark Haynes, the right-hander. And Haynes will come in with a 1-run record on the year, 3.72 ERA. This is his 21st appearance. Has a couple of saves this year. 19 1/3 innings pitched, 21 hits, 12 runs, 13 walks, 22 strikeouts. Haynes pitched in last night's game, pitched the 8th inning, gave up a hit, and struck out a couple of batters. And he comes in here for Scott Main, who faced the minimum in the 8th inning, giving up a walk, but was able to get a double play thanks to a nice play out in right field by Jan Santee, catching one on a sliding catch, and doubling up the runner at first.
Well, the Punisher will take over here, and he will face the top of the order here in the top of the ninth. Jose Lavada, Edwin Garcia, and Zach Wilson, 1, 2, and 3. First pitch is foul tipped into the mitt of Wilfredo Rodriguez, strike one. No balls and 1 strike to count. Haynes features a fastball, a slider, a sinker, and a change. Haynes pitching for the 3rd time in the last 4 days. The 0-1. This one swung and fouled off to the left side. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Skeeters down 4-0 here in the top of the ninth. Looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth, Skeeters will have 3, 4, and 5 up, so some good hitters for Sugar Land. They'll be down at least 4. Haynes trying to keep it that way. The 0-2 by the Skeeters right-hander. This one is swung and missed. Foul tipped in the mid of Rodriguez. 3 pitches. Out number 1 here for Haynes. A 1 out, none on for Edwin Garcia, who is 1 for 4. He has struck out, grounded out, fouled out last time up, singled, stole a base, and scored a run. Well, Haynes will face Garcia, who came in at 250, no home runs, and 9 RBIs. Haynes, the 4th Skeeters pitcher of the night. First pitch by the Punisher. This one a fastball strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count. Southern Maryland 4 runs on 10 hits. Skeeters no runs on 5. The 0-1. Swung on and hit into right field, but playable. Jan Santee's there, and we'll bring it down for the 2nd out. 2 up and 2 down for Haynes, and he will face Zach Wilson. Wilson 3 for 4, 2 singles, a double, and an RBI. He's also fouled out to first. Wilson came in at 278, 9 home runs, now has 37 RBIs. Those 37 ribbies are good for 3rd in the league. 2nd among active players. Both the league leaders in home runs now are both former Atlantic League players, as Jerry Sands was signed before the Skeeters played Somerset in the first game of their series on the road trip. And Andy Wilkins signed today, if you're just joining us, by the Minnesota Twins. He will be heading to Double-A Chattanooga, so we wish him the best of luck. The 0-1. This one is low. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Wilkins became the 3rd member of the Skeeters to be signed by a major league organization this season. Jeremy Barfield was signed by the Red Sox. Ryan Jackson was also signed, although he was not here long. This one is low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. That's what the league is all about. They've sent a ton of players back to affiliate already, just a little past a quarter of the season. They set up outside. The 2-1 by Haynes. Fastball high and outside. 3 balls and a strike. '20th anniversary of the Atlantic League. They've sent well over 600 players back to affiliate and 100 players back to the big league. So it's really done a lot for baseball in the last 2 decades. 3-1. This one is down low, ball 4. Now I'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Michael Snyder. Snyder is 2 for 3. He's been on base twice. Walked last time up. He's also doubled and scored. Score here 4-0 Southern Maryland. Take one final look here. The game in York. See how the Barnstormers are doing. Perhaps York has come back in that one. Same score, moved to the bottom of the 8th now. Barnstormers leading 3-1. If they win and the Skeeters do not come back here, they would put themselves 4 games back of the Barnstormers again. This one is low and away. A 1 ball and no strikes to count here to Snyder. Snyder 270, 8 home runs, 28 RBIs coming in. After tonight's game, there'll be just 21 games remaining in the first half. The 1-0. Swung and drilled to center field. Miller has a beat on it, backtracks a little bit, and he'll bring it down for the final out. Bottom of the 9th when we get back. Skeeters down 4-0. We'll see if they have a huge comeback in them when we return here in the bottom of the 9th.
Blue Crabs make a couple of changes for this bottom of the 9th inning, up 4-0. First, they'll stick Brian Bistain at second base, and he'll switch out Jose Lozada in the top spot in the order. So Bistain on at second base, and now the new pitcher is Cody Epley. The Blue Crabs closer has 13 saves on the year through 22 appearances. He has a record of 1-2 and an ERA of 1.74. He's thrown 20 2/3 innings pitched, 13 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, and 22 strikeouts. League batting just 176 against Epley, who is up in that top 3 in the leaderboard for saves in the Atlantic League on the season. He's in second place, just behind David Carpenter of Bridgeport.
Epley will take over here. Normally the closer is going to close this one out or try. Won't be a save situation, however. He is second in the league in saves with 13, 6 behind David Carpenter of Bridgeport, who has 19. Skeeters will send up 3, 4, and 5. Jan Santi, Aarons, and Scott. Epley's got some time in the big leagues with the Yankees as well as the Twins. A righty-righty matchup here for Epley. First pitch to the Skeeters right-handed hitting right fielder is low and away, ball 1, 1-0. Epley originally from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. went to Virginia Commonwealth, a 43rd round pick of the Rangers back in 2008. Spent time at the big league level with the Rangers in 2011, the Yankees in 2012 and 2013. Also spent some time in the Atlantic League with the Barnstormers in 2014. Did not pitch in 2015. I was with Southern Maryland last year as well. Had 31 saves last year. 3-2 with a 3.06 ERA and 61 appearances. This one a strike on the outside corner, 2-1 here to Jansanti. Great year for the Barnstormers in 2014 as well. 4-0, a 1.59 ERA. All in middle relief. The 2-1. Swung and chop foul off of third. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He features a 4-seam fastball, a slider. Sometimes he'll drop down with a low arm slide as well. Uses a lot of ground balls. The 2-2. This one is low and away. That'll run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see if Jansanti can get on here. Skeeters trailing 4-0 here in the bottom of the 9th. 3-2, swung and missed, strike 3. And that is out number 1 here. Skeeters down to their final 2 outs. 8 in a row retired by Southern Maryland pitching here. Retired 19 of the last 20 as well. Kevin Aarons will step in. The Skeeters cleanup hitter 0 for 3. He has popped out to second and grounded at the second each of the last 2 times up. Came in batting .299 with 5 home runs and 29 RBIs. This one is low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Skeeters trailing 4-0 as number 4 steps back into the box. This one is low as well. 2 balls and no strikes. This one is swung and chopped towards third, foul. 2-1 the count. Skeeters have been shut out 4 times already this season. They have shut out their opponent just once. And trying to avoid falling 4 games back of the Barnstormers. Now the Skeeters going to jump over 2 teams. If they had won today, they'd be in sole possession of second place. The 2-1, swung and chopped towards short. Garcia has it. He'll fire it to first. 1 shortstop to another, and the Skeeters are down to their final out here. So with 2 outs and none on, Travis Scott will step in. Scott has fly out to center each of the last 2 times up and fouled out to third. He is 0 for 3. Southern Maryland pitching has retired 20 of the last 21. In steps the left-hander hitting DH Travis Scott. First pitch to Travis. This one big swing and a miss. Strike 1. 0-1 the count. Scott 234, 4 home runs and 20 RBIs coming in. Epley gets the sign from Luis Allen. The 0-1. Swung hit high and deep in the air to right field, going back to the track, to the wall, and caught in front of the wall for the final out. The wind blowing in may have slowed that one up. That will do it as the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs really dominate the Skeeters tonight as they retire 21 of the last 22 batters. Final numbers look like this: 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Blue Crabs, no runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for the Skeeters. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll give you the final numbers. We'll give you our player of the game with Andy Humphrey. Preview tomorrow's Game 3 matchup, highlights, all that and more. We'll return on the Skeeters post-game show in a moment. So you got 5 highlights, right? I'll be right back. Just let me know when I get back. All right. The Rocky training montage. It was a rocky game for the Skeeters. Welcome to the Skeeters post-game show. A disappointed Ira Lieben as the Skeeters are shut out for the 5th time this year by a score of 4-0. Let's take a look at the final numbers. 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Blue Crabs. No runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for the Skeeters. Winning pitcher is Daryl Thompson, the former big leaguer, improves to 4-3 on the season. Sean Gleason, pretty good game, did not get any run support, drops to 1-4 and takes the loss. Time of the game, 2 hours and 35 minutes in front of 7,407 fans here at Constellation Field. Let's tell you how this one happened. It was scoreless through the first 3, but the Blue Crabs would get a run in the top half of the 4th inning. So let's backtrack. In the first inning, there was a milestone as Anthony Jansanti came to the plate with 2 outs. Oh, 25 straight games extends his Skeeters record. Really been an unbelievable stretch for the infielder slash outfielder. And not just a 25-game hitting streak, over a 40-day span. Well, it was the Blue Crabs who got on the board first, and really the only run of the game that they would need. It was in the top of the 4th after Zach Wilson fouled out to start the inning. Michael Schneider doubled. Corey Vaughn grounded to 3rd, and up came Devon Rodriguez. Andy Humphrey